Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the podium and welcome Melba Lewis and the Reverend Robert Lee Hill.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be right there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Thank you.
In a spirit of celebration, let us gather ourselves into an attitude of thankfulness and humility and joy. O Holy One, giver of breath and being, light and life, how grateful we are this evening. In light of the grand service and great purposes of the Center for Practical Bioethics, we abide in gratitude. Hear our thanks for the countless hours and efforts expended by countless participants in countless events and projects about matters of utmost importance for nearly 3.5 decades. Compound our joy this evening as we exult in the enhancement of goodness that has occurred because of what the Center has embodied in its programs, in its relationships with individuals and institutions, and in its steady progress toward what Martin Luther King envisioned as the beloved community. Give us a posture of humility this evening, shared in the bond of community and held within the inner sanctum of each heart, as we behold the oceanic expanse of challenges still to be met. Make us bold not to let up, not to waver, not to lose hope, for our brothers and sisters still need the Center's efforts, and too often desperately so. Here are underscored thanks for the sterling work accomplished by Myra Christopher and Mary Beth Blake and Sister Rosemary Flanagan for the fulfillment of the Center's mission. The generosity of spirit, the razor-sharp intelligence, and the unflagging energy they each have expressed on behalf of the Center cause us to rise up this evening and call them blessed. Now bless our meal this evening and our gathering with laughter and love and life as we offer this invocation in your holy name, in whatever language and by whatever tradition we choose to invoke it, as well as we remember your powerful, eternally perduring presence. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Center for Practical Bioethics Board Chair, Dr. John Yeast, and Center Board Member, Dr. Karen Miller.
Easy. Well, good evening. On behalf of the board and staff, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Center's annual dinner. And I see a lot of faces that have been here for a lot of these annual dinners, so thanks for being here again. This summer, the Center begins its 35th year of advancing the health and dignity of all persons. And once again, I see a lot of faces that have been here for most, if not all of that adventure. The Center for Practical Bioethics continues to lead regionally and nationally as ethical issues affect the lives of patients, families, and those who care for them.
Thank you, John. Really, thank you all for taking the time to be here. We appreciate your support of the center tonight and in the past and going forward. For each of us, life is a journey. And along the way, there are certain milestones that really deserve to be celebrated. And we are asking you to join us tonight in celebration of some milestones. Most importantly, we want you to help us recognize and celebrate the work of Ms. Myra Christopher upon the occasion, the important occasion of her upcoming retirement. Myra, where are you? Where is she? I can't see. Good. Myra was our founding CEO and CEO for the Center for over 30 years. In 2011, she decided to step aside from that role and has been devoting her time and energy to the important work of issues related to chronic pain. But for me, Myra has been the conscience of the center and of our region and our nation, really, in the field of bioethics, because she helped us to consider some interesting, thorny questions. Questions and issues that are complicated, controversial, and needing of mindful, thoughtful discussion. So now, Myra is going to, what I like to call, enter the age of preferment. And that is the time of life when one gets to do what one wants to do, not so much what one has to do or even should do. So thank you for helping us celebrate Myra this evening. And thank you, Myra, for graciously allowing us to celebrate your work this evening. And we will be hearing from Myra later. But in honor of her work and because of those efforts of she and the center staff and leaders who have made the center the recognized, critically acclaimed entity that it is today, the board made the decision to establish the Bioethics Leadership Fund. And within that fund, the Myra J. Christopher Forum. We have been delighted with the early response of some of you to that fund, which we are officially launching this evening. And we'll be hearing about that more later.
Thanks, Karen. Fittingly, we also want to honor the founders of the center, Mary Beth Blake, an attorney who's here tonight, the late Hans Uffelman, an ethicist, and Karen Ritchie, a physician, who founded the center in 1984. We also want to recognize Rosemary Flanagan, who, of course, needs no introduction to this group. Anybody that's met Rosemary will always know Rosemary. This fund honors all who have made the center possible and will be used to address emerging ethical issues and support the work, especially of young scholars and mid-career professionals, as well as providing education and training.
You may have seen a number of us wearing these little stickers. Here's mine that says, "Yes, I'm in." And it is a reminder, the sticker is that we are among the growing number of people who have been early responders to the Bioethics Leadership Fund and have supported it with our personal resources. And so the names are listed on the screen and can also be found in your dinner program booklet. So tonight we'd like you to join our ranks and be in. There is a pledge card on your table. And if you would like to make a donation this evening, please complete the card with your credit card information. We all know how to do this. And a check is good too. Even cash is good too, if you have such a thing. And it can be placed in the envelopes on your table. And then, if you are able to do that this evening, please don't hesitate to pick up a sticker and put it on. The program booklets that you find at your chairs have information about the center, its people and programs, and you'll hear more about those tonight. We use the booklet also as a way to give you an annual report of the work of the center, and we hope that you will take it with you and learn more about the work at your convenience.
The center is governed by a board, and I'm very fortunate to be serving as the chair of that board, and will complete that tour at the end of this year. The board has been very important to me. It's multidisciplinary, a lot of individuals with a variety of interests, but all strongly committed to the goals of the center. And I would like to recognize my colleagues on the board. If those that are here would stand, I'd appreciate it. I'd also like to thank obviously the center staff for all the work that they provide for the community, for patients, for families, and they do this throughout the year, oftentimes unrecognized. They also help make this annual event important. Some may still be back in the kitchen, I'm not sure. But they all support the worthy work of the center. And again, for the staff members that are in here, I'd also like for them to stand and be recognized.
Please help us thank them. So now it's our pleasure to welcome our honorary co-chairs for this year's event. Charlie Sabatino is the leader of the Center for Law and Aging for the last 33 years. Dr. Cinda Rushton is the Bunting Professor of Clinical Ethics at Johns Hopkins Berman Institute of Bioethics, and I'm proud to say it's School of Nursing. And also our very own Dr. Richard Payne, who is holder of the center's endowed John B. Francis Chair in Bioethics. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming tonight. The three of us are deeply grateful to you for being here to celebrate Myra, Mary Beth, and Rosemary and the work of the center. It is now our pleasure to express special thanks to our tribute sponsors: St. Luke's Health System, HCA Midwest Division, North Kansas City Hospital, and the University of Kansas Hospital. And to our visionary sponsors, Kansas City University of Medicine and Biosciences, the University of Kansas Medical Center, Diane Schumacher and Robert Southard, and Burt Berkeley in the memory of Joanne Berkeley.
I'd like to add my welcome to everyone this evening and add our gratitude. If you'll look on your table, there are some beautiful chocolates that have been donated by Andres Confiserie Suisse. And I know you're going to enjoy those lovely delights in a little while. Because of the generosity of our sponsors and guests tonight, as well as the lead gifts of the Bioethics Leadership Fund, we are delighted to announce that so far we have raised $400,000 to advance the work of the center. Many of you have already given very generously to be with us tonight, and we thank you wholeheartedly for your contributions. Others may be guests of your organization or a friend, and we would like you to offer you the opportunity to join with others to support the center's good work by either making a contribution to the Bioethics Leadership Fund, the Myra Christopher Forum, as Karen mentioned, or making a general contribution tonight and placing it in one of the envelopes that you'll find there at your table. As we mentioned before, staff will be at the doors to collect those envelopes as you leave. And if you find that you really love that beautiful centerpiece in the center of your table, we would offer you the opportunity to leave a small donation of, say, about $20 or so, and take that home with you as well. So thank you for your generous contributions.
Welcome all. We'd also like to invite you, all of you, whether you are thinking about it or not, whether you are thinking about estate planning or not, to consider joining the Center's Legacy Society. Just make a note on the envelopes provided on your table if you'd like to join this elite group, and someone from the Center will follow up with you. Thank you.